Okay, so let's say you want to be an artist or you want to paint a painting and you don't know what kind of medium to use. Should you use acrylics or oils or colored pencils or pastels or watercolors? Well, I vote for watercolors, and I'm going to tell you why. Hi, I'm Becky, and I'm going to tell you why I voted for watercolors. I just think it's the most exciting medium you can possibly use. I mean, when you use acrylics or oil or pastels, you have complete control over your medium. But when you use watercolors, you're working with water, and water is your partner. Water is right there with you, creating the painting that you want to create, and you don't really know what the outcome will be because the water has its own mind too. So it's really fun and exciting, and the results are a little bit unpredictable, but that adds to the excitement of everything. Let me show you what I mean when I say that with water as your partner and your friend, you don't really know the outcome. Okay, so I'm so excited to show you what I mean by this. Here I've drawn a couple clouds in the sky, and if I were doing oils or acrylics, I would just, paint the clouds white and paint blue around the clouds or whatever. But with watercolors, here's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to fill my cloud with some water, just like this. And then I'm going to take some blue and, ooh, look what happens when the blue hits the sky and the clouds and the water. It just creates all these unpredictable patterns and swirls that I could never, ever create so easily with another medium. So water is really doing half the work for me, and it's really fun. There, that blue just went right into that cloud and swirled away. Well, you would never get that with acrylics or any other medium where you have complete control. So I like watercolors because look at the beautiful designs that this created in about 2 seconds. So it's unbeatable, and water is my friend. Okay, so there's lots of other reasons I really love watercolors. And one reason is they're inexpensive. I mean, all you need is some brushes, you need some paper, you need some paints, and you can go as crazy with those as you want or not, and water, and you're pretty much there. So you can take them anywhere. You can take them backpacking, you can take them to the park, you can just whip out a watercolor at home, and it's very accessible. In fact, I have a watercolor bag that I take backpacking with me, and in here, in this little bag, I have all my paints and paper and pencils and everything I need to generate little mini watercolors. So they're very accessible. Another reason I love watercolors is they're quick. They're loose and they're quick. And instead of getting all hung up on being perfect and getting every little, stroke perfect, watercolors are much looser than other mediums, and so there's a lot of give, and you don't have to be absolutely perfect with everything. And finally, I think watercolors are perceived to be the hardest medium, and that might discourage you, but it shouldn't, because it really doesn't take any longer to learn watercolors than it does any other medium. But the reason they say it's the hardest is because you can't go back and correct. Once you get your paint on the paper, you cannot get rid of that paint. If you had acrylics or oils, you could always paint over, but with watercolors you can't. And I like that because you have to anticipate the consequences of your actions, anticipate and visualize the painting when you're done with it, and to stick to it. And I think that's a good life lesson for everyone, and it helps us be disciplined in thinking ahead before we do things. So I love watercolors for those reasons, and I hope you do too. Okay, so are you ready to become a real artist and say yes to art? Great! There's an artist in every one of us, and I promise there's a great artist in you. So there's 3 ways to move ahead in this. The first way is to look at the information link below, the description link, and find the link to our website and become part of our art community where you can find classes and all sorts of information. The second way is to hit the subscribe button and become part of our YouTube channel subscribers. And also, watch the next video that comes up. I'm sure you'll learn a lot.